Good morning, finance class. I'm going to be covering 5.3. Now, some jobs or careers, you get paid an hourly rate, but then you also get paid commissions and royalties, like a car salesman, like a realtor, who sells homes and apartment complexes. Those are two of the biggest jobs. Or even sometimes people that work in like a department store like Macy's, they might get hourly pay and then also the commission on their sales. So this is covering those types of jobs. So we're going to jump right into some examples. So number 1, Enid wrote a textbook for high school students. Now, really quick before we start, I want to state that both commissions and royalties get paid as a percent of sales or profit. Okay, so in this, she's getting paid a 5% royalty, that's kind of the same as a commission, based on the total sales. So it doesn't have to be on profit, just on sales for her. She sells, the book sells for $51.95 and she sells 12,341 copies. How much did she make in royalty payments to the nearest cent? So let's first start with what her sales were. She made $51.95 per 12,341 copies. So using a calculator, $51.95 times 12,341. And I'm going to record all of that. It even is perfectly rounded, so $641,114.95. So that is sales. She makes 5% of that. So 5% of $641,114.95. So using my calculator, I just hit times 0.05. Now it said to round to the nearest cent. So there's 74 cents, but the 7 next to it is greater than 5, so you round up. So she will make $32,055.75 in royalties for that year of sales. Moving on. So rock singer and writer Beat Blair is paid 11.5% on her CD sales and music downloads. She sold 1.2 million CDs and 2.1 million music downloads. And here is the cost for each. CDs were $5, music downloads were $1. So what was the total amount she made for CDs? Well, she sold 1.22 million and she got paid $5 each. Now you can use the abbreviation for million if you like, and that's what I did. And 1.22 times 5 is 6.1 million. What was the total of her download sales? Well, she did 2.1 million, but she made $1 each, so it's just 2.1 million. How much did she receive in royalties? Well, it'd be 6.1 plus 2.1 times 0.115. And so I'm going to write that here and see how that comes out, because it might not come out. So 8.2 times and you're going to get this decimal. And so that is 0.943 a million. And that's kind of hard to write. So I would put, she got 8.2 million, and it looks like this, right? If I add these together, I get 8.2 million, and then multiply that by 0.115, and it comes out to be a number that's a little bit easier to understand. So she made almost $1 million in royalties. Next one. Mr. Corona sells magazines part-time. I feel like we can't use that word anymore because of COVID. He's paid a monthly commission. He receives 21% of the first 1,500 sales and 14% of the balance. When you see the word balance, it represents the remainder. So last month he sold $22.33 worth of magazines. So I'm going to actually subtract 2233, and I'm going to subtract the 1500, so I know the parts I'm dealing with, and I got 733. So he receives 0.21 of the first 1500, and he receives 14% of the remainder, which that is my remainder. So I'm going to calculate both of that. So 0.21 times 1500 gave me exactly 315. 0.14 or 14% times 733, I got 102.62. So that, and commission, his total is $417.62. Next one. Carter Cadillac pays, and this one they're having us write a split function. And so I did want to do one with you just so you're aware. So they are paid, and this is like all car sales staff, they're paid a percent of the profit. So profit would be what the dealership paid for the car. It would be what they sold it for minus what they paid for it. So the profit is the difference. If the profit is less than or equal to 500, then the commission rate is 18%. So it'd be written like this, 0.18 times our profit when X is less than or equal to 500. So notice we're writing a piecewise function. The next one, if the profit is greater than 500 and less than or equal to 2,000, then the commission rate is 24%. So 20.24 times our profit when, start with the smaller number, when 500 is less than X, which is less than or equal to 2,000. And then finally, if the profit is above 2,000, the rate is 27%. So the more profit, the more that the salesman earns. So when X is greater than 2,000. So that would be practice at writing the piecewise function. I'm not sure it asks you on homework, but it might on the test. All right, so Casey is a real estate agent. So these are a real estate agent I'm sure you've heard of, but if you haven't, it's someone who sells homes. So it says here she makes 8.15% commission on each sale. After working with a potential buyer for 3.5 months, so that can also be written as 3.5, she finally sold a house. Woo! For $877,000. So what was her commission? So it's the sale price times 0.0815. And I got that she made $71,475.50, which sounds amazing. But if that's the only home she sold for the whole year, then that's your entire, that's your entire income. So here is her commission. If this was her only sale for the entire 3.5 month period, what's her average salary per month? So if that's all she made and she needed to do a budget, what she has per month, this would be divided by 3.5. So a little unknown with real estate, you don't get paid an hourly rate, so it's kind of hard to plan. So divided by 3.5, she would make $20,421.57 per month. Now for the next 4 months, she's not able to sell a house due to a faltering economy. So what would be her average salary for 7.5 months? So you take her commission and divide that by 7.5 months. And now she's only making $9,530.07 per month, which is still really great if you only sold that one home per year. It'd just be hard to plan around. And that's before taxes. So we have a few more problems. Larry works at an outlet. He receives a weekly salary of $310, plus he receives 0.0305 plus his sales. So it says last year he made this much. He sold this much of computer equipment. How much did he earn last year? So notice he receives a weekly salary. So 52 times the 310. Plus he's going to make that 0.0305 on his sales, which is $1,015,092. So this is what I would be entering, and then we would add it to his regular. So 52 times 310 plus 0.0305 times the $1,015,092. And so I get that he would make $47,080.31. So it says near a cent, so that 6 rounds the 0 up to 31 cents. Number 7, Jill picks corn at a piecework rate of 55 cents. So 0.55 for when she picks up to 300 containers. She receives 60 cents for any more containers than 300. So Jill picked 370 containers. So she gets paid 55 cents for those first 300, and she gets paid 60 cents for the other 70. And I'm going to add those up. 300 times 55 cents, and I got 165. 70 times 0.6, I got 42. So she will have made $207 for those boxes of corn. All right, last 2 examples, and we are done with this section. I've tried to cut these back and make them look like what you'll see in your homework. All right, so Miss Holleran receives $15 per hour, and she gets paid 15 cents per unit. She worked 40 hours and produced 988 units. So what was her piecework pay? That would be 15 cents times 988. And so that gives me 0.15 times 988. I got 148.2. What was her hourly pay? So 40 hours times $15. And that gives me 600. So her total would be $748.20. If her boss offered her, so instead of paying her $15 and then 15 cents per unit, what if he said, hey, I'll just pay you a straight $18 per hour, no piecework pay, so it doesn't matter how many you produce. Let's see if she earns more or less under the piecework system. So if he instead says $18 per 40 hours, that gives me $720. So does she make more or less under the piecework? She makes more under piecework pay system. Now, under her current payment plan, what would her total weekly salary have been if she had produced 0 units? Well, she'd still get her hourly rate, which was 40 times 15, which was $600. Okay. Sorry, just a second. Last one. All right, so here is Cruise Chevrolet pays commission to its car salespeople on the profit based on the following: 20% if the profit's between $0 and $750. Right, can't have negative here because that'd be a loss. 22% when the profit is in between $750 and $1,000, and 25% when the profit's greater than $1,000. So in part A, if the profit is $1,000, what is the commission rate? Well, the equation I would use is that second one because of that equal to. So 0.22 or 22%. So you want to give it as a percent. Part B, what's the commission on a car sold for a $1,200 profit? For that, I would use this one, right? Because 1,200 is greater than 1,000. So 0.25 times 1,200 would be $300. And that is it.